I can hear you.
Yep.
Welcome, Dave Bossi, to Trump Thursday. You know, we started this months ago, and we used to meet in a restaurant in Montgomery County, and we got a great turnout, and we had lots of enthusiastic, and everybody. The dominant response used to be these shy Trump voters, and it was great because we got to show them there were lots and lots of Trump voters out there, and it was a really positive thing. So we wanted to kind of continue this online, and that's what we've done. So welcome, Dave Bossi, and what can you tell us about the Trump campaign?
Well, first of all, thanks everybody for having me. I appreciate the invitation. I've been actually Dwight and I've tried to do this a couple of times before. It hasn't worked out, but I'm really pleased to be here today. Looking forward to many things. Today was an incredibly busy day for us with the Trump operation, with Mike Flynn's exoneration.
Yes.
We just had an incredible day today. To be quite honest, it was. It's been a long time coming. We've known that the evidence was there to exonerate him. Meaning the evidence, there was no evidence.
Well, there was none. You're right. Exactly.
So the evidence of the criminal and prosecutorial misconduct, which is still the next wave that Mike's going to bring. But we're really it's a good day for us. Chris Christie had a 9-0 decision at the United States Supreme Court, complete exoneration over the Bridgegate matter that the Obama Justice Department overreached and wrongfully investigated and wrongfully prosecuted those people. So we had actually some really good things happen today, and we got Joe Biden, hiding in his basement, afraid of participating, afraid of making a gaffe, only allowing his consultants to write his tweets and his statements. He's nowhere to be found. They're going to try to do a few things here and there, but they're really what I wrote on Fox News today. Folks can go see my op-ed up today. There on it's called the Tahiti strategy, which is basically you buy your candidate a one-way ticket to Tahiti and you tell them to come back on election day. And that really is what they've done here, because Donald Trump's having to lead our country in a time of crisis, and Joe Biden is Monday morning quarterbacking from the cheap seats. And the American people don't necessarily like that. So we're going to see how that plays out. So we, the Trump campaign, is working hard. We have a new Biden ad up today. We're working really hard to get to Charlotte, to our convention. The convention's being planned full steam ahead. The president has named me the vice chairman of the convention, which I'm really honored and humbled by. So it's quite cool. Hopefully that means Maryland gets a decent hotel.
We'll hold you accountable for that.
Yeah. Well, let's not get carried away. Get carried away. No promises here. Now, you know what? I'm looking forward to Charlotte. I'm hoping it's a big blowout convention that we all want and deserve. This president deserves to get nominated at. We have our convention in a couple of weeks. Actually, what am I saying? In a couple of weeks, in about 10 days.
Yep.
The state convention next Saturday. So we're looking forward to that. Unfortunately for all of us, it's going to be a virtual convention for the first time. And it's going to be something that we've never really done before. But we're going to get through it together. We'll get together the next time in person. And I know everybody likes to do that. But it's unfortunate we'll have to do it this way. But we're going to have a fairly limited convention. We have to operate under the RNC rules, which is basically to re-elect or to have the elections of national committeemen, national committeewomen. I am running for re-election for national committeeman.
And I'm pleased to say you're running unopposed.
Yeah, I am. So it's going to be. I'm looking forward to helping Maryland and being on the RNC for another 4 years. And it's exciting because when Donald Trump wins re-election, if you think what Trump did pre-corona, it's going to be at light speed. What we call Trump speed is going to pick up tempo, and the second term is going to be amazing. So it's going to be fun to be around. So the president has only endorsed in 3 RNC races in the entire country. And 2 of them are here in Maryland. And I'm honored and privileged to say that the president endorsed me for reelection. And he also endorsed Nicolee Ambrose for reelection for National Committeewoman. He absolutely wants Nicolee reelected. We asked for his endorsement and he gave it. It was an amazing thing, actually. So, he doesn't get involved in those. He doesn't get involved in these kinds of races. So it shows that he has a passion for this and he cares about this and he cares about who represents him at the RNC. So Nicolee and I are a good team, and we're going to be looking forward to working together for another 4 years together. So, as the state co-chairman of the Trump campaign, I'm the chairman of her campaign and looking forward to helping her get reelected. It's important that she get reelected.
And
so we're doing that.
And Nicolee's done phenomenal since she's been National Committee Woman. We used to never do Super Saturdays. That's all Nicolee. We've picked up, we've reelected a governor twice. We elected a Republican president since she's been National Committee Woman. Things have just gotten better under your and Nicolee's leadership. I remember.
It's mostly me. Hold on, it's mostly me. Just so we're clear, let's not get carried away.
No, but actually,
look, as far as the grassroots and as far as the Super Saturdays and the Trump talk, the telephone voter contact operation that the Trump campaign has, getting the field offices in 2018. Nicolee is all of those things. She's everywhere. She's about training and she's about helping every county across the state. So we're nobody needs to sell me on Nicolee. I don't think people can be look. Diana Waterman's a wonderful person. I like her personally, but Diana has her own set of experience and things that she offers. But the president's made a decision, and therefore the Trump campaign, the state party, in fact, is who works for the president, follows in line, and we're excited about it. So. We've had a great day today with Mike Flynn's exoneration. We've had a great day with Chris Christie winning at the Supreme Court. Joe Biden is not having a good day. There was an Ipsos poll came out this week that showed 45-32 that amongst Americans, they choose Donald Trump to get the economy back going again over Joe Biden. Now that's 45-32. Really at a down time in polling for the president, and a good time and good timing for Joe Biden. And this is a snapshot in time for Joe Biden. He's gonna have to spend 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours. And I'm gonna be talking to the president about trying to extend these, but there's only 3 presidential debates, one-on-one, 90 minutes each, come October. And there's no place for Joe Biden to hide. He can't have his wife on the stage with him. He can't read off of cue cards. The Klieg lights get very bright up on that stage. And I was part of the very small debate prep team and debate team with President Trump in 2016. And we had an incredible experience doing that. But I'm going to try to recommend to the president. I'm going to recommend to the president that we challenge Joe Biden to earlier debates and more debates, because with this virtual campaigning that we're having to do, where Donald Trump can't get out and about and do these rallies, and we don't know when we're necessarily going to be able to start these rallies. I think that starting some sort of a Lincoln Douglas style multiple debates, many more than we're used to, can show the American people that Joe Biden's not necessarily ready for prime time. When you want to have somebody be a leader in a time of crisis, it's not somebody who doesn't know what state they're in or what city they're
Or what
You know,
office they're running
you know,
for.
it's interesting is one of the threats or one of the prospects is that the Democrats not hold their Milwaukee or have a virtual convention instead of going to Milwaukee as a way to kind of keep, how shall I say, keep Joe in the basement.
Yeah, they are talking about that, but they've already moved their convention to the week before ours in August, when it was a month or so earlier than
Right.
that. So they've changed that. They're trying to drag it out. They've also strategically, I think they're giving themselves a little bit of an opening here. Is they've canceled some of these Democrat primaries,
Right.
and by doing so, the requirement for Joe Biden is to have 1,900 and change, right, delegates to go in to be the nominee. Well, when you cancel, he doesn't. He has about 12 or 1,300 right now. When you cancel primaries, Joe Biden can't get to 1,900, which means they could still swap him out for somebody else, and they may be looking at trying to do that when it comes to convention time if he's not able to really steer this ship the way they want to. So it's going to be, there's a lot of moving parts out there, and we're excited about it. I'm going to be, I'm on a convention call first thing tomorrow morning, with the leadership of the Charlotte convention. So I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more about what's happened in the last couple of weeks. And so we got a lot moving, and I'll see you guys all on Saturday at the convention. Dwight, I'm happy to take a couple, 3, 4
Sure.
questions, depending on how quickly they go. But if anybody has any, I'm happy to answer.
Sure.
Well, one thing we do need to talk about is we in Maryland are having a primary. It's coming up June 2nd, and it is different than the primary that we've ever had before in that it's going to be an all mail-in primary.
Correct.
So we
Yeah.
do want Republicans to come out and participate in it the maximum extent possible because it's an important message to send
Yeah.
that our voters are really fired up about reelecting this president.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. And I know that we have Trump talk out there trying to make phone calls to people who got ballots and trying to make sure that people vote and mail them in. It's important. We have to have a good turnout. It's one of the reasons that I went to Iowa and I went to New Hampshire with the president, during the caucus and the primary, to be part of the campaign operation on the ground in both states to make sure we drove up the turnout. And in both states, both in Iowa at the caucus, and if you can believe this, we set a record for turnout in the Iowa caucus, and he was unopposed in effect. And in New Hampshire, again, record turnout for the primary in New Hampshire. Now, these are pre-corona, but what they are is they're showing the intensity level for President Trump is there, and the excitement is there, and we're ready to go. And so we want to do the same thing in Maryland. And so, yes, I urge everybody to make sure that they help out in making sure these ballots get returned so we have good turnout, and that people vote for those people that have Trump next to their name. In all of these congressional districts, there are some that have many, many people running. And so we need to make sure that the Trump delegates win. And as everybody knows, it'll say Trump right next to their name.
So it couldn't be easier. You're going to get Republicans who are registered, in the primary will be getting the ballots. All they got to do is fill it out, and it's a postage reply. It's a paid envelope to reply. Just get that back in, and they basically it's easier to participate now than having to go to poll or going through the early voting process.
Yeah, but we don't want to do that. Look,
it is what it is. Yeah, right.
We have to do it now, and it is easier. The problem with that for the general election this November is, the unions and the fraudsters, the ballot harvesters will be out there creating havoc for us, and we need to the Trump campaign is in litigation in state after state, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. To be honest with you, so let's we do need to do it, and you're exactly right. But it's not something that the campaign wants.
Yeah, we talked with former Governor Montgomery last night on the club, Montgomery County Club show, And we talked about the absentee ballot harvesting that goes on. And it is a worrisome source of fraud that has crept into the process. And it did not sound like the controls in Maryland were at all in place to guard against some of the problems there. So
No, that's
absolutely
right.
agreement, yes. Dwight, do you have any questions?
Yeah, we got a couple of. One is from Scott West. Scott asks, what can he do to get young people? He's a college student. He goes to University of Pennsylvania. He's asking, what can, as a college student, he do to energize the Trump base come fall? You know, other than just doing calls right now, what is there anything more they could be doing?
No, you can go online. There is a Youth for Trump effort underway that they have. They just hired a national youth director from Morton Blackwell, and I actually hired one of Morton's people back in 2016 to be the national youth director for us. Then they believe in Morton's technology because I beat it into them. I was the national youth director.
For Reagan, weren't you?
No, no, I wish. No, for Bob Dole.
Okay.
No, I worked on the Reagan campaign here in Maryland, 1984. It was my first campaign. It's where I met the great Dr. Al and Katja Bullock,
Right.
two people that really made me who I am in politics. So it's Katja, just a special person, and her late husband Al is somebody who busted my chops every day and taught me what a conservative is, to be honest with you. So a great man, and I've been around. Unfortunately, I showed my age a little bit, but it is the youth efforts are very important. We need to get the college campuses organized, as best we can, starting now, so that when we get back to campus, hopefully in the fall, we can really put people to use and make the most of a youth effort in September and October. So I urge you to go to everybody should download the Trump app, the Trump campaign app, and you can find a lot of things. And I think the youth effort is mentioned on there, and there should be a way to contact somebody.
And we have links on the Trump Montgomery and obviously on the state party website, I believe.
As well as the county club site has.
County club site. There are lots of ways in order to funnel activities into that, because we really want to encourage it. One of the big challenges, don't we think, Dave, is in the bluest part of the country to get those how shall I say, shy Trump voters to recognize they've got plenty of other people who support the president, and they should really show their support.
No, that's right. Look, we did that very successfully in 2016.
Right.
The Rust Belt voter, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, and then Iowa. We really did that in North Carolina and in Florida and in many other places. And so absolutely, we have to have a high energy operations, part of what we do. And that's one of the reasons that we have to get back to rallies and doing rallies the way we want to do them, not the way we can do them. So it's going to be interesting and it's going to be a challenge, but we're going to see how it works out.
Senator Salling just wants to say thank you for all you do for the party and the Trump campaign. That's from Senator Salling. He just made a comment.
Thanks, buddy. And
we've got a question from Leslie. She just wants to know, what's the website to go to again for the Trump app to download? Is it just donaldjtrump.com?
Well, that's the website, but there's an app. You can go to your app store on your phone and just look, and search Trump campaign, and it'll come up, and you download the Trump app, and that's really the way to go now.
Okay, cool.
Anything else?
No, I think that's
okay. We're coming up. We've got 20 minutes. Thank you very much, Dave. We'll look forward to seeing you at 2 conventions, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you all for doing this tonight. Thanks for having me. And we'll see you again real soon. Okay.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Dave.
Great.
Take care. Bye. Not bad. We had a decent number of people watching from the apps.
Ryan needs to tell us